Hey folks, Troy Dooley, the Beachside CEO, and I am here today with my dear friend Marcus Jones. Marcus, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing well. I'm happy and blessed. How
Oh
are you?
man, I am just glad that we were able to finally get the timeline together and everything rolling so that I could just share your story. To me, having met you, having broken bread with you, having followed you, you're one of the people out there that I love who just, man, you just are who you are. You walk your walk. Doesn't matter what we're going through in the world, who we're talking to. You're just you, and I appreciate that so much about you.
Thank you. Thank you. That's what I liked about you. When I found you years ago, I think on YouTube, and I followed you and always liked how you kept it real with your reviews or feedback, and you didn't you always clean, but just kept things real and weren't fake. And that was the way I lived my. That's how I lived my life, and that was why I think we connected, even though it was on YouTube, and we didn't meet until last year, face to face, and that was great.
Oh, man, it was wonderful. Give us a little bit about your backstory. I mean, we see your personality on social media, but who's the real Marcus Jones? Give us a little bit about your backstory.
I'm pretty much like I'm pretty much the guy you see on Facebook. I'm the same person. I'm not someone that turns it on just when I get on social media. I'm pretty much the same person out when people meet me face to face. But I grew up born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, but my parents moved us to California when I was 4, and I'm the next to the youngest child from my mom's kids. And so, like I was talking to you before, people don't know that I was a twin, and my twin was stillborn, and so he wasn't alive, and I was 3 pounds when I was born, and so I've always been a fighter because at that time 3 pound babies really didn't live, and I developed chicken pox within my first month of birth. So I was in the hospital for 2 months before they allowed me to go home because I needed to gain weight. And so, but that's my back, been married to my wife for 26 years. We met when she was 17. I just turned 18 years old. Have a daughter. She graduated high school a year early. So she started college two months ago. And like I said, I'm the first person my parents from my parents' kids to graduate college. But I did use sports to help me get there. I played football growing up, which was fun. And so I think all those experiences from the way my parents raised me to work hard and be authentic and be real. And then my coaches, football is like a rough sport, but it teaches you teamwork. It also teaches you how to, you can't fake it. When you get out on the football field, it's you either do or you don't. And so that's the way I approach my life. So that's a little bit about my background.
Well, it's obvious that you went from that preemie to a full size man. I mean, you're playing football, you're a coach. I mean, you're out there doing it today. So no real I guess leftover medical from being a preemie. I mean, you just came right out and been able to gain that weight and just came on into the world.
Yeah, I was blessed, fortunate. I think God had a plan for my life, which I'm here. And yes, I was uh, fortunate enough not to have any negative side effects. I did have no growing up. I did get teased sometimes because of my speech. When I was growing up, I couldn't say my name sometimes because I stuttered, right?
Oh, wow.
And so I remember my first grade school teacher. When you go to your teacher and they ask you, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I don't remember what I told him, but he said, you probably should be like your dad, because my dad did construction work. He said you should get a job that requires you to work with your hands, because you'll never speak fluently enough to have a job that requires you to talk to people. And so that was I never told I remember I'm 5 years old. I never even told my parents that, because I knew it wouldn't have gone over well. But his word was something that I've used to always like fuel me to push myself and do things that people didn't think I could.
Man, and I tell you what, I've watched you, and I'm going to tell you right now, that little stutter you got, that hasn't held you back, brother, at all. You have been able to go out there and change some lives. But did you always want to be an entrepreneur, Marcus, or how did you kind of come into the realm that you're in today?
I remember when I was probably first grade, second grade, and I'm probably going to date myself. But remember when they had new newspaper racks and you can put in a quarter and just pick a newspaper, just take one. Well,
Yep.
I was probably wasn't the right thing to do, but I would put that quarter in and I would take all the newspapers out, and then I would stand on the corner and sell them for like 10 cents. so so I would put into it 25 cents and then make $1. So that was what started my I guess my entrepreneurship career. And then I had the newspaper route. I'm fifth or sixth grade. My friends, we all became new newspaper carriers. Where we rode our bikes and delivered newspapers. But if we wanted to make more money, we had to go out there and get more subscriptions ourselves. So I had to go door to door and sell new newspaper subscriptions. So it started when I was younger, and I think that's always been something in me. And watching my dad, he did construction work, but then on the weekends he would do side jobs. So he had his own side gig going. So I always saw that when he did his work and completed, he got paid. They paid him in cash right then, and that was something I like to do. So this is why, yes, I'm in the corporate world, but I always enjoy, the business side and becoming an entrepreneur.
Well, there's no doubt there. We run similar paths. I was selling Christmas cards door to door, and I was in the Midwest, middle of winter, but they had this big trophy, and I just knew, man, I need that trophy to look good on my desk. I needed that trophy, and I think them old ladies were I think they just felt sorry for me. Here's this 12-year-old knocking on their door, middle of winter, snow everywhere. And I tell you, I won that trophy, bro. I wasn't going to stop until I had more sales than anybody else. So I understand that. But what you do coming out of college? Did you just start a business? Did you go into corporate America? What was your shift there?
Yeah, I mean, initially, I went to college, playing football, had a scholarship, but then I hurt my knee, and so didn't. I stopped playing. I lost my passion for playing, and so but I continued going to school. So I got my degree. Didn't really have a plan because I'm thinking I was good enough to make it to the NFL, or coach or something. But the injury changed things, so I got my degree and I started working in the insurance industry. I handle claims for one of the biggest insurance companies in the world. So went into the corporate world, and after a few years, my wife and I actually we bought a commercial cleaning franchise. So that was my first like real taste of like having my own business, and that was fun. So it was probably 5 years after being in the corporate world for 5 years when we jumped in and started dabbling and wanting to be our own bosses.
All right, now you just hit on something, so I'm gonna back up just a little bit. Is your wife, has she always had that little entrepreneurial bug too in her what she's doing?
Yeah, my wife, I think she's the one. She comes from a family where her uncles and aunts all have their own side gigs or some type of business, and so she was mainly the one that would bring things up and push me into being more open to what we were doing.
Man, I think that is awesome because so many times, even in my life, I mean, it took my wife a while to get that bug. And when she got it, it was because she became an author and realized, wait a minute, if I write and send it in, they'll pay me. And then she started getting into it, but it took a little bit because she grew up, her dad worked as a chef, her mom was a nurse, security was a big deal. And then she married me, and man, I don't work well with other people. I'm better as an entrepreneur. So, man, that's awesome. What about your baby girl now? Is she following kind of in that footsteps, or what's she doing now that she's going into college?
She just started college January, so she has 6 months off of school, and so she's more and she wants to go into the arts, like do TV and film. Except she does want to have her own film company, and so she's watching myself and watching my wife and seeing what we do, and so we're just training her on the skills she'll need to become her own boss.
I think that's awesome right there. That's when you can pass it on generationally. Even if they get, I mean, there's people out there that they just need to work. They need to have legit jobs. But if they can do a little bit on the side, like you were saying, I mean, that just gives them some freedom that a lot of times people don't get to experience. So I think that's awesome. What moved you guys from the cleaning franchise into more of the true Main Street entrepreneur, network marketing, affiliate marketing, and all that? What became that shift for you guys?
Thing for us, we moved away from the cleaning for franchise because it's hard to please anyone with that big business there.
Ooh, I can
It's
imagine.
hard to please, and then employees. You're constantly trying to find good employees, and then with that line of work, people really don't stay, and we just also found that wasn't our passion. It was something we knew we could do to just make money, and so in our heart, we're really what wasn't into doing that. So network marketing has been um, more a better fit for myself. My wife wasn't on board with it at first because she heard some negative news about network marketing.
Yeah.
About it's a get rich quick scheme, and only the people at the top make it. And so, but once we got involved, and it took her several years before she finally, you know, woke up and came on board with me.
Ooh, I can imagine that one right there. And it's funny because, let's rabbit trail for a minute on a get rich quick scheme, because you and I've been in this business a long time. And whether there's people at the very top or some of us like you and I trying to climb up, man, there was nothing quick about it at all. I mean, even if we followed the systems, it seemed like, man, is this thing ever going to work for us?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's been 14 years for me, and part time mostly, which is this business is designed for. The ultimate goal is to do this part time and hopefully earn a full time income. But it definitely isn't get rich quick type of um, business. Some people do get in and do very well very fast, but for the masses that don't quit, it takes time to build. Just like I said, he who gathers wealth little by little makes it grow. And so that's been my approach. The thing for me is being consistent and that never quitting. And so and I've been around. I've joined. Gosh, think my current company. This is the ninth one, and this is the first one where everything just fits. It fits it fits my beliefs, it fits my family's lifestyle, and it fits what I'm all about.
Well, and I think that's important, and we're gonna talk about that company in a second. You do something when we were together about, well, I guess it's a little over a year ago now. We were sitting here. One of the things that I mean just perked my ears up when you were speaking is that you use private label rights as part of your funnel system, as part of what you do. And I've used those since I learned about them out there, because I just think it's a way to really be able to educate other people, be able to collapse a time frame. What got you started into using the PLR into your marketing system?
I think what happened was, back in 2011, after my dad died, he had suffered a heart attack. He dropped dead, and so I decided, you know what, I need to take control of my health. So I went on a journey. I lost over 80 pounds in about a year and a half, 2 years. I became a certified personal trainer, but I didn't work with people face to face. I wanted to do it strictly online and just share my knowledge and not charge anyone. Just help people get healthy and get fit. And I found there were recipes and books that I could purchase and then repackage them and give them away as gifts for people. So for me, the private label process was just a way for me to offer more value and give back to people to because people are struggling. And instead of people having to go to Google or YouTube and try to find all this stuff, if I can just offer a recipe book or a workout book or something like that, where they can just go to it, then they would trust me more and know that I'm here to give and not to get.
I think that's very good. It goes to your personality that I've grown to love because you are a coach. You really want to bring people up in every aspect of their life, which to me, there's a lot of times, well, I guess it goes back to the cleaning franchise. You get
Mm-hmm.
into something because you want to be an entrepreneur, but then you realize, yeah, this isn't going to work. This isn't what I want to do. But you want to be that entrepreneur, so you just keep digging and you keep looking until you find what it is you find. In looking at the 9 companies, well, let's look at the 8 because we're going to talk about the ninth one in a minute. In those 8 companies, what was it that you were looking for when you joined those companies? And second, Marcus, what was it that you didn't find as you matured into those companies?
The very first one I joined, I saw someone with their car. They're driving around. It says something about getting paid to travel, and so I'm like, wow, I like to get paid to travel, but I didn't do anything. And then a few months later, a friend of a family member has sent me a website link and say, hey, your brother thought you might be interested in this, and it happened to be get paid to travel. And I thought it was fate. I'm like, what?
The Lord's raining down on me.
So that was my first. I'm like, wow, we like to travel, and so, but join that, and so that's why I initially got involved was just to get discounts. It really wasn't about the money. It was mainly about discounts. But then I found out there was a way to share with other people and earn income. So that was why I initially got involved with just the travel part. Then I found I really wasn't that passionate about traveling. My daughter was young, so you really couldn't. It
Mm,
wasn't fun. She's 3, 4 years old, and traveling with little kids. That's not the funnest thing to
I
do.
know
So
that's right. Yeah.
I eventually transitioned to a nutritional company that sold juice, and that was okay for a while, but there was something that just didn't fit, and went back to travel again, and that didn't like that. The company changed, and the ownership was different, and this didn't align with what my values were. And then once I decided I wanted to get healthier and lose weight, that's when I joined a company that did just sold a weight loss product. And so that was
Okay.
when I found my purpose. I'm like, hey, this is fun. I feel good. I look better. I can help other people do the same thing. And so that was the reason why how I transitioned to where I'm at now.
Okay. Okay. Now that makes sense. So it was really a progression that first it was curiosity, discounts, and then when you had a life experience that shifted, that's when you started really honing in. Okay, if I'm going to do a business, I need to do a business that matches up with my values and my principles. Did I understand that right?
Yep. Yes. It was
Okay.
more about something where I could believe in it, and also it was something where I knew it would make a big impact, because in life, people all want more time, more money, and better health. But health is the main thing. If you have bad health, it doesn't matter if you have all the time in the world, you won't be able to enjoy it. And if you're rich but you're sick, you can't enjoy the money. So health is like key.
That is very good there. I have it's become very personal to me. I've got a 35-year-old son who's had 2 strokes in the last 6 months. He's not overweight, but there's some other life circumstances that we're finding out that has played into that. So now when I look at him and realize after a couple of strokes, wow, um, I might outlive him if we can't find a solution. I'm doing what you've already done. I'm looking at how much weight I need to lose. I'm starting a workout regimen, not like it was when I was in the Marine Corps, but I'm really honing in now on, okay, I got to be healthy because I got all these other kids out there that are definitely younger, and some of them still in elementary and junior high, and it's like, Lord, I've let myself go, and I'm gonna focus in, and it's almost embarrassing, Marcus, because I've got clients that are in the health and wellness business, and it's like, okay, there's no excuse for me not to be healthier than what I have been. So, man, I commend you on that one. When you start talking now and working with people, how much of your life experience on what you've gone through in those first 8 companies play into how you talk to them? I mean, do you share that with them, or how do you really progress into finding out if there just should be a customer or if you think they're going to be a business partner? How do you do that?
Now, I mean, over the years, I've learned, to ask questions, and the one thing I like to find out is what is their why? Why do you want to join? The company we're with. Is it for you want to lose weight, or you have a health issue, or is it because you want to make some extra income? And so I always try to find out why, and most people they're open and they'll respond back, and I'll share my story, some of my background, particularly about my health and my weight. I don't really talk about the money a lot because, like I said, this industry, the way it's presented, it just, it has a negative connotation when you start talking about how much money you make. So I like to focus on how how this industry has helped me, and how like using nutritional products have helped me feel good and look good. And I want to just find ways, these products can benefit them. But I usually just like to ask and see what their goals are, and what motivates them.
I like that a lot. And that brings us to the current. You've been with some pretty major companies over the years. They're name brands, at least inside direct sales. And this time you chose a company that is not a household word. It's a smaller company where quality of product, the founders of this company, it's all about quality of products. How did you find out about Heart and Body Naturals, and what drew you to learning more about Paula, Ben, the whole infrastructure, if you will, of the company?
Well, no, I was with my last company for almost 8 years, and so I'm not so even though I was with 8 other companies, I'm not someone that jumps around looking for the
Right.
next best thing. So I was committed, and I'm thinking that's going to be the last company I ever had to join. And so, unfortunately, things had happened. They merged, they went away, and the newer company wasn't a good fit for what I believed in. So I just decided, hey, this isn't for me. But fortunately, a friend of mine, we both, him and I, agreed that we would go out there and find a company that would be a good fit for us, and that would be our last one we would join. So I remember the day was February 4th, 2019. I'm sitting in my office crying because my wife had just taken my dog Daisy and put her to sleep because she was diagnosed with diabetes 2 months before, and so then she was about to die. So she waited till I left and took her because I couldn't take her to the vet and put her down. So I'm sitting in my office, I'm crying, and then my friend sends me a message on Facebook and just told me, "Hey, look at this." And so I saw it was it was a link, it had this power line on it. I just clicked on it, and I saw it didn't cost anything to join. And so I'm like, well, it's not going to cost me anything just to take a look. So I just put my name and email in there, and once I logged in, I started looking around at what the company was about. I'm like, hey, wait a minute, this might be a good fit. Just seeing the products were the first thing I looked at. I didn't even look at the pay plan.
Yeah.
I didn't. It took me a month to figure the pay plan out, but I looked at the products first, and so I saw that everything was organic and non-GMO and plant-based.
Yeah.
And then and that was how we try to live that way in my household most of the time. And but seeing that was what really made me take a deeper look. And I think I have, we always pray to be in the right place at the right time.
Yep.
And my friend happened to know Paula. And
Okay.
so he told me like, hey, I know her. I can vouch for her. I think this is a good company. And so that's how I ended up here a little over 2 years ago.
Well, and it is different. Paula, I've known Paula now almost a decade. And she's one of a handful of founders that have launched companies over this time period who literally came from the field. And I swear that girl must have made notes about everything she liked and everything she disliked, because her whole goal was to make a place where everyone felt welcome, and that the products were not only just good quality products but affordable products. She was so tired of well, colored water with sugar in it. I'm being a little facetious there, but I mean, you know what I'm saying. I
Oh, yeah.
mean, and then people say, well, I could go to the store and buy the same thing and it's a better product. So she really did want to deliver something that was not like anybody else. But then she didn't want to go out there and brag about it. She wanted just to build a community, which is what you've done, Will's done, some of the others. It's like, man, these guys are rocking it on the internet, but you guys are so even keel. You don't hype everything. You just go out there and help people. How's this journey been since that first day compared to now, a couple of years later?
It's been amazing. I know just when I joined, you can immediately tell the culture was different. It was where I signed up and wasn't, you know, um, you're not in my team, so I can't help you. I was accepted, and I remember Paul even reached out to me because I didn't understand the pay plan. I never been this type of pay plan before, and
Yep.
so he's like, hey, you know what? I think if you put this person over here, this will help you more. I'm like, wow, the CEO is contacting me, and so seeing that, and then working with just me meeting the different people who were already here and had already laid the foundation. That just built my belief in the company and fostered my whole mentality about one team, one dream. And then when Will and Chuck and other people that had a lot more experience than me, when they came on board and they embraced the whole one team, one dream mentality, where it's not about who signed you up. We're just here to help people become successful, both with their health and also with help the average person make some extra income each month. And then communicating with Paula, just seeing her vision and seeing what her and Ben are all about. That just makes me want to help the company get to where we want to be, but also do it without all the hype that we see.
Well, I think one of the main things that draws all of us to HBN, whether it's at the executive level or in the field, is that the story behind the company. When Paula went looking for a product that was going to help Ben's health, that's a love story. That isn't about let's go build a business, make a little bucks, and then disappear. That's, look, if I can help my husband, then how many other husbands can I help? How many other wives can I help? And she has taken that same mentality with every product that she brings out. And man, she's tasked me over the years with finding products, and we'll go to manufacturers and we'll talk to them and we'll look at it. And she's the expert with ingredients. It isn't me. I just connect people. She'll come back and say, Troy, I just can't use that manufacturer. They want to shortcut it. I don't want to do that. I want a good quality product. I want a fair price. And it's like, she'd rather not sell a product at all than to go through that. And the other thing that I've seen with her, and you hit it, she'll be at the lake house, she'll be at home, she'll be wherever, and she's looking at where everybody's at. And instead of her saying, oh, I'm glad he didn't put that person over there, or we'd have to give up more money, she's texting or calling saying, hey, if we move this person into this leg, or you do this over here, you're going to make more money. It's going to flow the money. Everybody's going to make money. It isn't about her just keeping it. She really wants to change people's lives. And she may, with what you guys have done now in the field, that company may have more part-time people earning a few $100 a month than any other company I know, because that's been her focus. She wants to empower people. She wants to help moms. She wants to help dads. She just wants to really be that company that walks their walk. And I don't think she could do it if it wasn't for guys like you, Will, Chuck, some of the girls that are out there jamming this thing out. You guys all do work together. I mean, I'm in some threads with you, and I mean, watching you guys work together, celebrate each other's victories. This was what it was like when I was young and in the field. I mean, it was one team, one family. Let's go build it. And I'm proud of you, bro. I think you're one of the great leaders that really walk their walk at this stage.
Thank you. And the one thing for me, once, I mean, I didn't envision myself being at this point with this company. I just wanted to be someone just to help somebody get healthy and earn some extra income. But being what they call a leader in the company, I think my experience with the other eight companies, and I always looked at what I liked about people that led and what I didn't like, and I was determined to do more of what I liked as opposed to what I didn't like. Because remember, no, people in this business, they're not employees. Everyone is here to everyone's here for a reason, and I just wanted to just be a resource and help people get what they want and serve. And so I'm thankful.
I think you do a good job. I'm going over in my head some of the stuff we've covered. And Marcus, one of the things obviously early on in your life was your stuttering, from a teacher telling you to be in construction. And as we've started talking, and you're sharing it caused me to realize how fake the world is today. There's two TV shows that over the years I've just loved. One of them was called Sons of Anarchy, and you know my background, so that would make sense. And the other one's a show that's on right now with Kevin Costner called Yellowstone. And I bring these two shows up because two of the key actors in each of them are from Great Britain, and they have a British accent, except in the show. In the show, they doctor that to where they sound like they're either from California or Wyoming. They got that Southern California style, or they got that mid, out West. And I don't think people like fake. When they all of a sudden see these actors and actresses they like, and they realize, wait a minute, they're not from America, they're from Great Britain. Why didn't you just show that in the show? People start to question what else is out there when they hear guys like you, guys like me that screw the English language up all the time. I mean, they'd rather have legit folks than the fake in their life. And I commend you for saying, I ain't going to let anybody keep me down. I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm going to go out there and let the Lord just bless me however he wants to bless, and I'm going to go help people. And Bubba, that's what people want. I'm proud of you for that, not giving up on that dream.
Thank you. That was like, I think my parents didn't ever allow me to use the fact that I stutter sometimes as a reason to not go out there and pursue my dreams. And so I think, being where I'm at now, being the example for people, to let people know that it doesn't matter what people say about you or do to you in your past. If you want to accomplish a goal or a dream, just go for it. Is it going to be easy? No. I mean, there's times where I block and stammer on some words, during the presentation sometimes. But it's all about getting the information out, and they'll my goal is to let people see the light in me and to feel my heart and see that I'm here just to help them win and here to serve.
Well, that's the name of the game. What is there anything that we haven't covered that might be important or of value to the people that we know are going to see this video?
Yeah, like, just if you guys don't quit. Like I said, this is Heart by Naturals is the 9th company I've joined, and I believe this will be the last one I'll ever have to join again, as long as they're around. But don't ever quit. Network marketing is not perfect, but it's a better way. That's one of, I think, Eric would worry. It is a better way, and being in the corporate world for me, not having to play the games to, brown nose and be nice to this person just to get that, just to get this one thing. This really truly levels the playing field for anyone. If you have the desire to help people and serve people, and you want to be successful, this is it, guys. And another thing is, if you're with a company that has products or even a service, you use it and have a story. Like Ben's story, Paula sharing Ben's story is what stood out to me when I started researching the products. And I dealt with some pain. I had knee pain from sports, and so I used our Mind by Body and Soul. Within my first week, my knee pain stopped, and it's been gone for two years. And so, but that's a story I have to share with people that may be able to relate, that maybe have joint pain. So just have a story, and also never stop learning. I'm always on the internet, and it's easier now because of YouTube. You can go on YouTube and just learn something you didn't learn yesterday, and just keep getting better.
Man, let me tell you, that is the truth right there. I'm even watching now. I'll rabbit trail. You know how I am. You've heard me speak, but I've got two 13-year-old daughters that got into this a K-pop. I guess it's Korean pop culture now, and they're using YouTube now to learn to speak Korean. Now it's not just the music. Now they want to learn to speak it. And it's like, man, this stuff is so much easier, and they're spitting stuff off. It's like, girls, I'm from the South. I have a hard time speaking English. You can't be speaking this other stuff. I don't have a clue what you're saying. It's like I'm using Siri to interpret, but it's like YouTube is an answer. I mean, people can go out there and find some really good information, Marcus, on how to just better their life,
Yes.
if they want to. So I appreciate that. Hey, if people want to get a hold of you, what is the best way for them to contact you? Now, I'm going to obviously put your contact info up, but if they want to reach out to you, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Reach me. My email address is just simply coachmarcusjones@gmail.com. That's the easiest way. And then if people have questions, any health and wellness questions, just shoot me an email there at coachmarcusjones@gmail.com, and I'll respond to it.
I tell you, I am so honored. I know you're busy. You've got a team you're leading. You've got a family to lead. We're all in this crazy world of a pandemic of some kind. So I know you've got a lot going on. And I'm so honored that you took some time out this morning with me to be able to do this interview. This means a lot to me, sir.
I appreciate you having me as a guest. Like I said, when I first discovered you years ago on YouTube, I was like, I'd like to be on his show one day. I just told my wife that this morning. So she's like, wow, well, that day is here. So,
well, it's an honor. Yeah, I appreciate it. Folks, another great interview we've got. I'm excited. We've got more coming up. Listen, if you don't know about being in a home-based business, if you're wondering what it's all about, get with Marcus. I mean, listen, he'll be the first to tell you, look, this isn't for you, but maybe you should check out this or that. He wants to serve you, not just build the team at some company. It's about you, and he shows that. So y'all have a great time, and watch out for our next interview, and we'll see you soon.